Hello. Hi. Hey. Hello. Hi. Hey. How's that working now? I wonder. So is that working now, guys? Yes! Ganesh, thank you. Audience of one. Okay, guys, so this has been 7 minutes of me just 7 minutes of me saying absolutely of you not being able to hear anything, which is always fantastic. Always fantastic. So Chris Stedman, I barely check my DMs. You're quite right, mate. So let me start again, guys. So welcome everybody. If you're just tuning in and you're now discussing, wow, my beard game. Jesus Christ, it's crazy when you look in a camera. This is the longest I've ever had my hair. Cool, guys. Hello, hi everybody. So, Chris, I will check my DMs now that you've mentioned that, because if you've for whatever reason been ignored, then apologies. I need to check it. I get inundated with DMs, buddy. So the purpose of today's webinar was for it to be Q&A, where you guys can just ask me anything that you want to ask me about, and that's the whole principle of Q&A Friday. So I encourage any questions that you've got. So, Chris, I will check your DM. I check DMs not every day, because I get overwhelmed, if I'm being honest with you. That's the answer to that question. There's someone who's asking me how have sales been over the COVID period. So March and April we lost 14 clients. So that sucked. But we also have won back probably. Well, I say we've won back. A couple of them are returning. But you know, thankfully, we've I think in June we won back maybe 10 clients, so we've kind of balanced out. James, is the video now in the group? If you go back to it, is the audio sorted? Because I think I've just now changed the audio to be clear. Let me know if it's working, James, in the group as well. But yeah, guys, sales have actually picked up. I think that the one of the core reasons is we're thankful to have a decent amount of inbounds. We get maybe 3 inbound bookings a day that come in, maybe 5 sometimes, to be honest with you. So that has been helpful, because it means that we rely, we kind of stopped doing outreach because it stopped making sense, because we're getting around 80 leads inbound a month, which has been really good. But yeah, for cold email outreach, Ganesh, we still do it, to be honest with you. We get leads, but my sales guys are a bit useless sometimes of following up, because they get inbound that comes in, to be honest with you. For cold email outreach, I've been using Mailshake and Lemlist. Mailshake and Lemlist, I just bounce between the two, to be honest with you. For steady, so for campaigns that, so we've got a couple of campaigns that we do. I do outreach based upon active job posts that people post. So if, for example, Ganesh, you've got a job post that says, hey, I'm looking for an SEO executive, or I'm looking for a growth hacker, and you post that on Angel or Indeed, then I will find you on Indeed or Angel. I will try and identify who your HR manager is, and I'll send them like an email outreach saying, hey, Ganesh, it's Deepak here. I was just on Angel and I noticed that you post a job for a growth hacker. And that way it feels very personal and it doesn't feel like cold email. And that works very well. We regularly get leads doing that. It works. It will always continue to work. It's the same thing that recruiters do, okay? Guys, recruiters do that and have been doing that for like probably over a decade. So do the same thing, because they look at companies that post job ads and try and place their candidates into those job ads. And that's the way they try and then build a relationship, because they might say, well, no, it's not a good fit, but let's talk anyway. And you do that enough and it's effective and it works. So that's my kind of recommendation on that front. Let's see if there's any more questions that are coming in. So can't see any questions coming in just yet, although I'm using Restream and it might be the case that there's a delay. So guys, just to reiterate, I want to try and do this once a day, every day at UK time, midday. I want to call it Q&A, midday Q&A, where I'm just Q&Aing and middaying. Jazz, thank you, mate. Yeah, my beard, my beard. You know what, Jazz? I've started using this spray to spray out my grey hairs. Daniela bought it for me. It's kind of, you're not really meant to tell anyone, but it's pretty good. Like, that is normally all bloody grey, and it's just like it washes off. But I made myself look about 3 years younger. So James, to your question, do I take referrals for SEO? Warm referrals, and yeah, we do. I mean, you know, as you can probably tell, James, I actually, I mean, of course, we run an SEO agency and we do very well. But sales is something that I love and we enjoy, and the sales team, the sales and the SEO side are good. So if you're asking, do we take referrals from people that send referrals and our team close, then yeah, that's not a problem at all. Any general advice I have during COVID, it's a good thing. It's a good moment to think long term, right? Long term. So when I say long term, building a brand is super important. I am trying to make the Pearl Lemon brand bigger than the Deepak Shukla brand, because I don't want people to just come for me. I want people to come for the Pearl Lemon experience, which gives me freedom to screw about and to do stuff like this, or to just try lots of other business exploits, etc., which is something that I enjoy doing. To answer your question, Philip Silabod, HR people want full-time candidates. Sometimes, well, it's a numbers game. A couple of things. So number one, there's of course a growing list of companies that hire remote only. I mean, it existed before. It's increasing now. You can find it and you can search for that specific criteria on Angel, on a site called No Desk. Just Google remote only jobs, and you'll find like a load of companies that are hiring remote only. And then it's your ability to really get them on the phone call, okay? And on the phone call, you can say, look, I do run an agency, but this is why it's going to be better. And position yourself as a freelancer if you want to, or position yourself as an agency and see what happens. But it does still work very well because they've got a budget, Philip, of, let's just say they've got a budget of £18,000 a year, and you know that you charge £1,000. Then the math makes sense for them. They save some money. They get a better service. They'll still maybe want to bring someone in-house, but you can build that relationship, especially if they think you're a good guy and they like what you're about. So it can work, and it does work to that extent. Bum ba bum ba bum. No more questions. No more questions. Cool, guys. So as I was saying, the idea is that I'm going to jump on every day. I'm going to try and jump on at midday. Obviously, the audio is completely screwed, so that kind of ruined me, but I figured it out now. Thank you for informing me about that. And the idea is just to be able to answer any questions that anyone's got about anything, really, to be honest with you. Doesn't necessarily need to relate to agency stuff. Can relate to my awesome hair. Can relate to life, love, whatever it might be. Yeah, just want to give you guys some value and just check in every day. So I'll give it another minute and see if there are any final questions before I skedaddle and I come back on Monday for a midday Q&A. Bum ba-dum ba-dum. Bum ba-dum ba-dum. Cool. Any types of clients you prefer working with niche-wise? You know what? Okay, so I'll answer that question in two parts, James. So me, I don't care. I mean, I think that once you have so we niche, of course, based upon it being SEO only, and then James, you crack me up, mate. You crack me up. So no, I think, look, a lot of companies say, of course, niche, so SEO only, and then you can niche further still by saying SEO for e-commerce. And there's probably great value to doing that. Okay, I've not done it, so I can't speak for it, but I think if you have really strong processes, then you can service everybody, because the process of link building, for example, doesn't change fundamentally. The process of running a technical audit doesn't change. You're still using, you're still using Screaming Frog or Deep Crawl or Ahrefs or, SEMrush. We use SEMrush for all of our actual client audits, and the process is the same. And I think it's a case of niching by clients who understand SEO really. And most of our leads come inbound, so they're Googling anyway, so they've got some sense of how inbound works. So, James, you gotta please in the comments, mate, put a picture of your beard. Mate, I told you, I've got this little spray thing, so it turns white here, and I don't have it, mate. I don't have it, but I would love to share you the spray that my girlfriend bought from Savers. She also got me this, mate. Woo! I probably look ridiculous, but I do quite like these things now. To be honest with you, I actually nicked hers and wore it one day, and then I wouldn't give it to her back. So I started. So she bought me this one. Her one is even more girly, but I need to find it. I don't know where it is. Cool. So Pratik, hope that answers your question, mate. If you've got any more, let me know. So Pratik, do you build your products? So I don't personally build them. I can't code. I don't intend to learn to code. Yeah, mate, you know what? Actually, what's funny, and let me just see if I can do this. So, yeah, mate, look at that. Look at that. Fucking lovely. Mate, so she got this spray that turned your beard black, and I just was like, spray it on my bald spot, and let's see what happens. So that's what we did. Yeah, brilliant. I'm going to keep this hat on now. I quite like it. So, bum. What were you saying? Pratik, no, I don't build my own products, pal. I've got some developers that I partner with. Max Carroll, amazing guy. We're doing Word Pigeon together. That's going slowly, but it's going. Then I've got Shripad, another awesome guy. We're building some stuff together. Then there's a Bosnian team that I work with. We're building some stuff together. And yeah, it's I think finding partners that when you've reached a level of competency within your own business, I think that as with anything, to make a partnership work, you've got to have a skill set that you can add, to that partnership to make, the ongoing value legitimate. So guys, it's 12:22 UK time. I don't know where you're listening in from. I will take, if it comes in, one more question. It might not, because I've got an incredibly tiny audience. But hey, I miss you guys. So I thought I'd do a midday Q&A. I wonder if you can add captions apparently with Restream, but I've just bought the other AppSumo deal, one stream, I think it's called. So I may well switch to that. I'm not really sure at the moment, but I am using Restream at the moment, and apparently you can do captions. So I'll give it one more minute if there comes in one more question. Otherwise, I'll just skedaddle, and I'll catch you guys on Monday. Unless I randomly pop up and feel like talking nonsense again to my Facebook audience. Brilliant. So Ganesh is asking, what's the skill set for a partnership? I think there's just, I think that someone else was talking to me about it, like a T-shaped skill set. So T-shaped means that you're a generalist, but you've got one area of particular skill. So that's the key, I think, to a partnership. Like generalists, I think, are great, but in marketing, generally speaking, everyone can set up a Facebook ad. I mean, you can watch a course if you want to, set up a Google ad, but having one area of course specialism, I think is very good. So for us, of course, naturally, Ganesh, I run an SEO agency. So the idea is that we rank well, and that's the core area of specialism. My core area of specialism within that would be, just activating my team. So that's, my opinion as to how skill sets work for partnerships. That might not be the greatest answer, but it is the answer that I think is effective. And yes, James, absolutely, I do some great deals. I mean, PitchGround do some awesome deals. I bought a bunch from PitchGround. We were on PitchGround. So PitchGround is bloody awesome. AppSumo does some great deals. And guys, I came to the last question. Thank you for sticking with me, Ganesh. Thank you for sticking with me, James. Thank you, Pratik. Thank you for the people that came on, saw no audio, heard no audio, and then fucked off immediately. I'll be back on Monday with my hat. See you then, guys. Hasta luego.